You're watching Fox 10 AZAM.
The president wants Mexico to do more about illegal immigration, and he's threatening new tariffs if they don't. How these tariffs could impact us right here in the Valley.
Well, in the border battle, President Trump threatening new tariffs on Mexican imports unless Mexico does more to stop the flow of immigrants crossing the U.S. border.
So it would start with a 5% tariff effective June 10th and would gradually increase to about 25%. Of course, as you know, we get a lot of produce here in Arizona from Mexico. So how could these tariffs impact what we pay at the grocery store? Willie with Ituli Produce joins us this morning live to break this whole thing down for us. Good morning to you, Willie.
Good morning.
We appreciate your time. What are your
going on?
Well, yes. What are your thoughts on these tariffs, and what are the effects that we could feel here?
Well, we're actually in a very lucky situation right now due to the fact that the Mexican growing season is winding down. So from now until through October, most of the stuff we're going to be getting is going to be domestic stuff, which is going to save it on that. But the reality of the deal is things like avocados, which we import probably 85% of our avocado consumption, and they're grown in Mexico. So we're going to start seeing higher prices on avocados. The third quarter of the year is going to see when your avocados for the next 3 months are going to be extremely high, but you'll see a little bit of relief on the other items as we go domestically now into the United States, into California.
Say going forward, however, if these tariffs do end up going into effect as we get into other seasons, how does that look for you guys?
Well, if the tariff lasts, if you go into next November and the tariffs are at 25%, the American consumer is going to be paying a lot more for their produce in a restaurant and at your local stores. That's the reality of the deal, where there's not going to be any getting around it. But the reality also is, you know, produce is still a relatively cheap thing, so hopefully it's not going to go sky high. And we don't want to take away from the health of the children and everybody. Eat healthy, that's the big thing. This is one thing that is going to be, it's not a choice. You cannot buy a car or stuff coming in from Mexico, electronics, but this is going to hit the American consumer in the pocketbook due to the fact that everybody eats fruits and vegetables.
That is so true. Now, Willie, you're kind of our local expert. You've been in this business for so many years. Your kids are in the business now. Give us your thoughts on this in turn. Look back on history, and what are your thoughts on this, kind of a, big angle here?
Well, you know what? I think that anytime you hear the word tariff or you hear increase in price, it kind of scares anybody. But the reality is we kind of need to take our time and see how everything pans out on this. Produce is supply and demand. So even if you have a tariff on it, due to the growing conditions and the supply that's out there, the price could still be down. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go up. It will go up, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to cost more. It could actually cost less.
Look at that, maybe.
Yeah. Good to know. Willie Ituli with Ituli Produce. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Willie, thank you.
Thank you very much.